If each of you had to put a prediction into a time capsule that was going to be opened in 20 years, what would yours say? Jeff, I'll start with you.
Well, mine would say, I think, two things. One is that we're going to have many fewer colleges playing the kind of big-time, financially based sports that we have now. And in those colleges, the players will be significant economic partners. That's the part I'm sure of. The part I'm not sure of is whether we get there in a way which protects the athletic infrastructure of the rest of the system, starting with youth sports and coming up through schools and colleges, so that we still have broad-based sports in this country available to a lot of different people, or whether sport has become the province of the upper class and the upper middle class, where people can afford to pay for it and can afford to pay extra in college for it, but where we have no public support for sport in a wide basis. That's what I'm not sure.
I think that a combination of factors, scandal and the rising healthcare costs in this country, wakes up this country and says that we need to be focusing on a broader sports program. So Congress steps in. We end up creating a collective model in college sports based on reform, where money is spread around to create this sports for all concept consistent with higher education, and that clear alternatives to football and basketball are created for kids that want to bypass college.
I agree that there's going to be some sort of upheaval, that athletes will begin to get their rights, and that the system will right itself to some degree that way. However, I'm afraid that the cataclysm that it'll take to do that is going to be distorted by the adoration for the big-time, big-money sports, and that it may injure the university. So I'm not as sanguine that the educational model will be preserved. My optimism on this is more, I think people in 20 years will realize more that half of our population are now have gone through an amazing positive revolution in sports. The women's sports, in volleyball, the stuff that I saw when I was going around to college campuses just stunned me. The level, the scholarship, the intensity, the level of play. I grew up in an era when the girls couldn't even go across half court. They had to hand the ball in basketball. They now play real sports, and really it's on the women's side. I saw the field hockey tournaments and that sort of thing, where I saw sport, and I know it happens in the men's side too, but I saw it afresh how much it really means and how valuable it can be. All these sports that are non-revenue sports really have doubled in our colleges, and maybe in 20 years we'll realize how good that's been.